Hey YouTube, today is what is the day? May the 28th, 2022. I think it's 1 second. 311 days post surgery. Hiatal hernia repair and TIF transoral incisionless fundoplication. So last several videos I've made, I don't have a major update. I don't have another major update, although I will say again that things are going pretty well. Aside from a concussion that I sustained, I'm still dealing with. My hernia, which is why you're here, or former hernia and the repair that was done, I'm doing very well. Again, if you're new to these videos, and this is the first one you've seen, I had the TIF and hiatal hernia repair 311 days ago. Went through some pretty big ups and downs there after the surgery, and actually was given a medication for my parasympathetic nervous system, specific for me. Again, I don't know who benefits from this medication or who doesn't. Again, I'm not a doctor or anything like that and making recommendations on that sort of stuff, but the surgery was successful in terms of holding together like it was supposed to and all that stuff, but I didn't see relief from the procedure itself. It wasn't until I started taking this medication that I started seeing relief, but and I'm still taking the medication. Another update, I know that many of you have maybe been wondering about my visits to the doctor. I just recently went to the doctor, was it the week of May the 22nd or whatever day that was. I'm getting my days mixed up. 5 days ago, give or take, I went to the GI doctor. And just to follow up, I didn't really have anything to ask other than should I continue to take the medication, and, is getting pain, stomach, left side, where the hernia was pulled down, I believe. I still get pressure in that area. It's not painful, it's just pressure. Feels like and it's very localized. It's not throughout the whole stomach area. It's just right there. Sometimes it's, a little bit closer to the midline. Sometimes it's a little bit further over to the left. But ultimately, it's still there. But again, as I think I've mentioned in previous videos, I tend to get more pressure, stress, anxiety, eating too much, eating too fast, eating too much in one meal, eating too much in one day, which is rare. I'm, again, following what we do if you're from a different country. In the U.S., a little bit. I know it's more general population, but just again, looking at body mass index or BMI, I'm closer to the upper end, I believe, and being classified as overweight. But I have a little bit more muscle mass on me than I think an average person has. I'm not a bodybuilder, and I'm not gonna show you my body with my shirt off kind of thing, but I don't think I'm horribly out of shape, although I've been a little bit bad lately because of the fact that I've had a concussion, and it's been harder to do some of the things that I've normally wanted to do in terms of weightlifting and exercises and stuff like that. But anyway, I weigh, again, about 165 pounds, give or take. It fluctuates between 162 and 168, give or take, depending on, the day, what I eat, maybe sometimes like that. I'd like to get closer to 162 or a little bit under if I could. But in any case, that's about what I weigh. I'm about 5 feet 8 inches tall. So, but anyhow, I think that's what does the pressure is eating too much, eating too fast, eating too much throughout the day, eating too much in one meal, a big meal, which I don't really have very often, but on a cheat day, having a hamburger or something like that. It does it, something with potatoes, don't have potatoes very often, but something that's just starchy, heavy, filling would probably get to me, but it doesn't always. So anyhow, it's no rhyme or reason. But anyway, the doctor said to continue the medication, and she thinks that pressure is normal. But if, again, you go back to watch previous videos, I had two surgeons. One was the hiatal hernia repair, who pulled the stomach back down and did whatever they did inside my body. And then in addition to that, the second surgeon did the TIF and went down my throat and did the TIF. So I went to see the TIF doctor, who I had seen more frequently, or I guess it wasn't the TIF doctor, because I've only seen the TIF doctor or surgeon twice. Once was for the surgery, and the other one was for an endoscopy after that. Otherwise, I've seen his PA, his physician's assistant. So I've seen her numerous times, 6, 7, something like that. And I've always seen her because the surgeon he just does the surgeries and all that other stuff, and she does all the other legwork. So she said she thinks, quote unquote, thinks it's normal, but not quite sure. I need to talk to the hiatal hernia repair doctor if I really wanted to be certain. But she's pretty confident that it's normal, quote unquote, to have that pressure. So I haven't followed up with that surgeon yet. So that's the sucky part about having two different surgeons or doctors. But in any case, that's it. So, and the pressure doesn't really bother me in terms of just having anxiety anyway and just worrying about, oh my God, I'm putting too much pressure, it's going to re-herniate or something like that, or the TIF's going to come loose. But the PA said continue to take the medication, maybe in another year, 6 months, if you wanted to explore coming off of it, you could, but I don't notice any side effects other than dry mouth. I can't remember all the other side effects that could happen. True with any other medication, but I'm going to continue to take it. I take other medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, and stuff like that. So taking another little pill that doesn't even do anything to me that I notice. Could it be doing something else? I don't know. But again, I have relief right now. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted relief and to feel normal. And for the most part, I'm not symptom free, but my wife has not. My wife doesn't have a hiatal hernia or anything like that, and she still has heartburn. So occasionally, you do it to yourself. You eat too much, you have something really spicy, and something just gets to you. Who knows? Sometimes, if you're overweight or if you or have obese, something like that, you just get that kind of thing. Or maybe you just have GI issues like I did, or like I do. But I really don't take Tums very often or Rolaids. I don't take Pepcid. I don't take anything like that. On occasion, I might take a Tums or I mostly take Rolaids because it has a combination of the two. Pick what you want. It's just over-the-counter stuff. I like Rolaids because it's got the magnesium and calcium, and the Tums just have calcium, if I'm not mistaken. Otherwise, they're very much the same. Tums just doesn't have the magnesium, I believe. I might also take a Gaviscon or something like that. That's rare, only if I know I'm going to have something spicy, which, again, I've mentioned this before in previous videos, so it's a repeat if you're new. If you're returning to this video, I just had spaghetti, and I just had earlier egg white sandwich with some hot sauce on it, which I would have never even dreamed of having pre-surgery and this medication. I'm making myself hungry again. I can have green chili burrito, and I don't go nuts. I don't get hot, but we get salsa and chips with that, and the salsa can be pretty hot, and I don't have to oftentimes take anything for it. And sometimes I might take it before, but I've honestly forgot, which is good. I just live. I just eat, and 2 hours later, an hour later, whatever it might be, oh crap, I forgot to take a Rolaid. I didn't need one. I forgot. So, what a concept. It's been good. So, I'm doing pretty well. No complaints right now. Again, I'm not symptom free, but it's much, much, much better than it was. Like I've said in previous videos, if I had only 5% of my days were good, now 95% of my days are good. So I really just don't notice a problem, and it's continuing. So, and I don't know how long this is going to last, but I've had a good 5-6 months worth of very, very, very good days, eating normal, being mindful of what I eat, and being cautious of not having too much crap. But I still can, chocolate, spicy food, salsa, pizza, marinara sauce, barbecue sauce, you name it. I don't have any zero, zip, zilch restrictions in terms of my diet. Can do anything I want in terms of physical activity within reason. I'm young, but I still have to be careful. Certain things I know it's going to put pressure. So I'm just cautious. My wife had a inguinal hernia, which is in the belly button, came out when, popped out when she had our child. And that was like 6 years ago, 5.5, 6 years ago, my wife had surgery. And she still notices pressure. And she still notices that when she gets anxious or when she eats too much, she feels the pressure. So it's a hernia. It's just a different spot. And I'll argue that her hernia was not even close to as bad as somebody with a hiatal hernia up here. It's a hernia. So she has to be careful what she eats, what she does, core work, in terms of exercise or anything you do, anything you might do that would engage your core, just using caution. So I'm not normal. Again, I've mentioned this before, I believe. You have an ACL, a knee surgery, or a back surgery, or something like that. You might lose function a little bit. I'm not going to ever be 100% like I was before the surgery, I don't think. Where I just don't have to think about it. But again, we get older, and that's not going to stop happening. So unless they figure something out, which I doubt it. You tend to get older, you can't eat as much, you can't lift as much, you can't get up as fast. Things bother you just as a human being as you get older. So things you might have to change because of the fact that you're just getting older. So partly with this surgery and this procedure, I'm not going to solve all the issues and be a 21-year-old again. It's just not what this is going to do. But for me, again, it worked. And the medication, I don't know, again, what if I would have just taken this medication before the surgery? Because they said my hiatal hernia was small. Although I thought I read, I think mine was 3 centimeters. Excuse me. So not that big, but I think that was on the bigger side. It wasn't 1 to 2 centimeters. Whatever. All I know, like I said, was I couldn't take it anymore, and I had only been going through it for about a year, and I decided I wanted to do it. I didn't want to continue, and I did. And here I am almost a year later, and I had a rough couple months because of the recovery and then figuring out what was going on with, and again, for me, it was my parasympathetic nervous system. Apparently, they give me this medication, and it helps me tremendously. So, and I'm struggling with my concussion a little bit, so I'm going to have to cut it off here because my brain just starts to not function like it wants to, or that I want it to. Just formulating words and things like that just become tricky. So I don't think I don't think there's anything else left for me to say. But there's another update, and then update after speaking with the doctor, which again, it wasn't really much. Keep taking the medication. And yes, the pressure is normal from what she said. Assuming that I follow up with the other doctor, which I likely will try to do in an email if he'll respond to me just in the email, I'll do that. And then I'll give another update. And I'll post here and there. But again, I don't have much more depth to go into in terms of what I'm doing and how I'm doing, other than, again, I'm continuing to do well. But I know this is a continuous process. 2 years from now, will I be feeling bad again? I don't know. But again, I'm trying not to deal with that and think about that, even though it comes across my mind that, how long is this going to last? Am I going to get 2 years out of this, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? I have no idea. And I know it'll vary by person. So I just wanted some relief, and I've had it, and I've been able to feel normal. So right now, honestly, as hard as this hiatal hernia stuff has been, in the recovery and this whole process, this concussion that I've had has been way worse. So I know you're not here to hear about my concussion, but protect your head at all costs. Don't hit your head. And my issue's been vision. So I thought my hiatal hernia situation was hard, and it was. Oh God, was it hard? But this concussion, which I've had, I think 77 days ago, has been hard, and that's not that long. I mean, again, over 365 days or so, give or take, for the hiatal hernia stuff. But this has been 77 days of hell from a concussion standpoint. And people look, again, you have a hiatal hernia, you have acid reflux, people can't tell, and you might hide it. So same thing with a concussion for me. Most people can't tell. They see me walking down the street, or they see me at work, and they don't know that I'm really, really, really struggling like you wouldn't believe. Don't feel like myself, don't feel happy. It's the same thing, it's just a different situation. So, when you're having your hiatal hernia, GERD related stuff, you're tired, you can't sleep or something like that. And anyway, so there's the update. Again, if there's questions, fire off in the comments. I'll answer the ones I can answer as best I can, but others, again, I can't answer, should I do this and whatnot. But if you have more specific questions that I'm not answering, let me know. I'll either answer it in the comments, or I'll make another video as soon as I can. Because, again, as I mentioned in previous videos, I just want to give you an account of what my journey's been like. I've gone into some detail, and I ramble on and on and on. I was supposed to cut this off a long time ago, and I still haven't yet. But, if you want some details and you can handle me talking endlessly nonsense in some cases, that's all I want, is for you to understand that I do feel better. I think the surgery was very, very, before I forget, that's something, I don't know that I mentioned that in a while. For me, the surgery was very easy. I didn't take pain medication. I took Tylenol for the first couple of days, but then I went off. I didn't have pain. It was just being cautious, moving around, and being scared of, popping something. But otherwise, I didn't have pain. I didn't have trouble doing certain things. And again, that'll vary. I wasn't overweight or obese. No offense to anybody that's out there listening that maybe has a little bit extra weight, but I didn't have trouble with that stuff. It was the continued symptoms. I went for a couple weeks, and then the diet, losing so much weight was a problem. For those of you who want to lose weight, you're going to lose weight. I just don't know any way around that. But for me, the surgery wasn't a problem. I'd go through the surgery again. The diet and the restrictive diet was very hard. And then on day 17, if you go back to my videos, on day 17, I believe it was, where I started to have an increase in symptoms again. So, and then that went on from early August until December, where I just didn't have an answer. And be patient. So I had to be my own advocate. So if something's not working and you have a question, ask. And, middle finger to the doctors. If they're not going to answer your questions, make them. Fight. Go see someone else. You'll hear in previous videos, if you go back, that I had one doctor I wasn't really all that fond of, and I got another one. And that they did the TIF there because I researched it. So I didn't want to do the links. I didn't want to put a foreign object in my body. Again, you could find benefit to it, and I know that's been successful, but I didn't want to do that. And it wasn't covered by medical insurance. I didn't want to spend the $8,000 on something that might not work, or whatever it is, 8, 10, 12, who knows however much money it costs. So, again, for me, the surgery was easy. I had more pain, discomfort, and difficulty with a knee scope 20 years ago, almost 18 years. So the surgery was easy. It was the diet, the recovery, and the continued symptoms. I have surgery, I'm supposed to get better, and I didn't. So that was hard. But once I got some symptom relief, I feel fine. Again, I have to be careful. I am older. I'm not old. I'm 41. I'm going to be 42 in almost a month. But I'm a young man. I'm a very young man still. But my body, I have to be careful. So I am. But again, I'm in good shape, relatively. I'm not obese. I'm not really overweight. I need to be careful so I don't get overweight. But I notice when I put on more weight, even muscle mass, my body just can't tolerate that sort of mass. So even for somebody that's lean like me, if you're having trouble, leaner, I'm not extremely lean. I'm not a runner. I hate running. But just be careful of the extra weight. You might have to just cut down And even the food, you eat lower calorie food, but like cottage cheese or egg whites or something like that, that doesn't have a lot of calories in it, but would really fill your stomach up potentially, that could be dangerous too. So for me, in my opinion, just to be careful not to overfill your stomach. Because you'll stretch it and stuff like that back to kind of what it's like. But I think I'll forever be worried about the pressure. And if it's there, it's there. I'll get used to it. Like my wife. My wife says she just notices the pressure. She's just used to it now. For her inguinal hernia. Excuse me. No, it was umbilical. Why did I say inguinal? Maybe it's my concussion. But belly button. Umbilical hernia. My brother-in-law, I believe, had an inguinal hernia. So, anyway, I keep rambling like I said I do. So I apologize if you're like, God, get to the point, Frank. But I just I don't have a script. I don't plan this out. I just talk. So hopefully it's helpful. So again, questions, let me know. Have a good one.